On today's podcast, we'll be covering simplicity and customization, so stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. You can find the show notes to each episode, links to information mentioned on the podcast, the social media platforms we're on, and anything else related to the podcast at warehousesafetytips.com. Now, if you're a seasoned podcast listener, this podcast is going to be different from most you listen to. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money and each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all of that out of the way, let's get to the podcast. Welcome to a Labor Day edition of Warehouse Safety Tips. Labor Day recognizes the contributions workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of our country. And here at Warehouse Safety Tips, we know just how hard you work at your facilities and greatly appreciate it. On our last two podcasts, we've centered around social distancing. This episode, we're going to cover an item that we missed and cover some more of our social distancing signs and tape. The item we missed last week is the simplicity portion of our title, and that's arrows. Much like the footprints we showcased last week, arrows quite simply show direction. Because they come in different colors, each color can signify a different event. Just a few examples of this would be staff, vendors, tours, and/or lift truck directions. And unlike paint, removable safety floor markings such as arrows can be removed and/or replaced with minimal loss of production time. Before moving on, here's a word from one of our sponsors. If you've ever been to or worked in a warehouse, you know just how important safety is to both management and staff. It's almost impossible to go 10 steps without seeing safety tape, angles, signs, and/or safety products. It's these items that show us how to be safe and avoid danger in the workplace. And if you're looking for the best products to make this happen, look no further than Mighty Line. Mighty Line floor signs and floor markings offer the best industrial products out there. We're proud to have Mighty Line as the official floor sign and floor marking company for the Warehouse Safety Tips podcast and site. Go to mightylinetape.com/safety tips to request a sample pack of their incredible safety signs and floor markings. Now back to the podcast. The customization portion of our podcast is surrounding our safety signs and tape, or in reference to what the current world situation would be, social distancing signs and tape. Most manufacturers have social distancing products already in stock and ready to go, but what you really want to look for are those that can create custom signs and tape with branding and/or specific messages. And even though many of the in-stock products serve most of the needs that you'll have at your facility, there's always that one message that you need to convey that you just can't find. And remember, just because something is custom doesn't mean it's quality. Be sure to seek out signs and tape that can handle the action of your facility. And regardless of going to the simple route of putting down something like arrows or going full custom signs and tape, be sure your social distancing floor markings keep your staff, facility, and visitors aware of your specific rules and procedures. Have a very happy Labor Day and stay safe. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. If you visit warehousesafetytips.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode and access to all of our blog posts, previous podcasts, advertiser information, and much more. Thank you for listening to Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.